All right, good morning, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and call to order the License and Variance Board meeting for Wednesday, September 26th. The time is right at 10 o'clock, about 9:59. My name is Roy Akery. I'm the fire chief here in the city. To my left is David Lee, the police chief. To Chief Lee's left is Deputy Chief Brian Marcos of the fire department. We also have Elsa Thompson with us this morning to record the official meeting minutes. The first item on the agenda is 3A. It's a public hearing privilege license request, LIC 2018-16, beer, wine, and liquor pouring, 2467 Cobb Parkway, GMRI Incorporated, DBA, the Olive Garden Italian Restaurant, number 1136, with Nishil Patel as the agent. Is the agent applicant here? Could you step forward, please? If you could state your name, but before you do that, if you look at the base of the microphone, is the green light on? Okay, thank you. If you could push the button.
There we go.
Okay. If you could just state your name for the record.
Nishil Patel.
Good morning.
Morning.
So you're applying to be the registered agent of this particular Olive Garden located on Cobb Parkway, is that correct? Could you just kind of talk to us a little bit about, well, first of all, what's your role with this store?
So I'm the general manager.
So does that mean that you're at the store most of the week?
5 days out of the week where I'll be present.
5 days a week?
Yes.
Okay, so can you just talk to the board a little bit, describe to us about your policies or practices there at that location, specifically with the regard of the sale of alcohol?
Sure. So it starts off with our training program that we have. A lot of places require outside companies to come in and train. We actually have an in-house program that's company-wide. It's called Responsible Service of Alcohol Training. And during their service training, they actually have an entire day devoted to just learning about alcohol. And it goes through steps as going to the bar top, learning the different types of glassware. We have specific glassware that is just used for alcohol versus non-alcoholic. In the bar area, we have certain lanes where alcohol is to be placed. It's placed in a red lane, which means stop, look, read the ticket, and then pull. We have designations of we don't put straws in alcoholic drinks. That way a server knows exactly, hey, this is an alcoholic drink versus a non-alcoholic drink coming from the bar. And we also, whenever we're talking in servers at first thing in the morning, we call it tip, which is talking in position. On their sheet of paper, it shows exactly the alcohol date. So it says on or before. So today would be 9/26/97. And they got to repeat that back to us verbally and write it on their piece of paper. So we know that they're confirming that they know what the responsible alcohol date is. And not only that, on our POS systems, it states the actual date. And there's actual function on there that they can just type in whatever date is on the license, and it'll tell them yes or no. So they don't even have to do the math. It automatically does it for them. So those are some ways there. And then also the bartenders will confirm before someone picks up a drink from the bar that this is an alcoholic beverage. Are you sure this is the correct one? And then they'll send it out.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? So I see that within our packet we see the copy of your alcohol management certification that you received. Have you been the registered agent for a restaurant before?
Yes. So previously to this location, I was down in Savannah, and I was the agent down there.
Okay. So you got moved from Savannah to
yeah, this is home, though, so.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Savannah's nice in the spring and fall, right? Too hot in summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hot.
Also, something that we'd like to tell people at this point is just to make you aware that from time to time and at any given time, the Smyrna Police Department can and does operate undercover compliance types of things. And that's been, so that probably will happen at some point in the future.
Yeah,
but it sounds like you guys have some good practices and policies in place.
Yes.
For the record, the Smyrna Police Department also did the required background check on the applicant, Mr. Patel, and found no reason that would preclude him from receiving this certification or this privilege license. Having said that, this is a public hearing. If there's anybody here that would like to speak on behalf of item 3A, I ask that you step forward now. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve privilege license request, beer and wine and liquor pouring, 2467 Cobb Parkway GMRI Inc., DBA, The Olive Garden Italian Restaurant, number 1136, with Nishil Patel as agent.
I second the motion.
We have a motion to approve that's been seconded. Any further discussion? If not, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is 3B, public hearing variance request V18-063 to allow 6-foot wooden privacy fence in front yard on a corner lot, 0.20 acre land lot 489, located at 2629 Grady Street with Kevin D. Bailey as the applicant. You, Mr. Bailey, if you could please, and for the record, state your name.
Absolutely. Kevin Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, good morning.
Morning.
Just talk to us a little bit about your variance request.
I've got a house over on Grady Street. Grady Street and Fleming used to be an intersection. I believe a developer in the past kind of turned it into a cul-de-sac. So I've got kind of an odd lot. Majority of my lot's kind of on the side of my house. So I'm requesting a variance to put a privacy fence along the side plane back around to separate my house from the neighbor, which really probably like 20 feet behind my house is the house next door. So just kind of create a little bit of a backyard, make the most of the lot.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant? If you would just have a seat on the front row. I'm going to call up Community Development staff. Mr. Martin, if you could give some background.
Good morning. This request is to increase the fence height within the front yard from 4 feet to 6 feet. The city's code contemplates front yards as the yards along a public road frontage. This lot has public road frontage along Grady Street and along Fleming Street. It's a double frontage lot, so the side along Fleming Street where he wants to put the fence would be limited to 4 feet. However, he's requesting a 6-foot fence. Section 501 of the zoning ordinance is where we find that request or that requirement for the 4-foot high fence along a public road frontage. Staff's reviewed the area. The neighbor, I guess to the west of him, has a similar style fence. So we are recommending approval of the requested variance.
And that's with no conditions, right?
No conditions.
Okay. Any questions for staff? Thank you, sir. This is a public hearing. Does anybody here that'd like to speak to item 3B? I ask that you step forward now. Let the record show that the only people in the room are the applicant and city staff. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve public hearing variance request V18-063 allow 6-foot wooden privacy fence in front yard on corner lot 0.20 acres land lot 489-2629 Grady Street.
I second that motion.
We have a motion approved. It's been seconded. Without further discussion, we'll call for the vote. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, sir. Last item on the agenda is 4A, the approval of the September 12, 2018 License Variance Board meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve 2018-407 approval of September 12th, 2018 License and Variance Board meeting minutes.
I second that motion.
We have a motion approved. It's been properly seconded. Call for the vote. Motion passes unanimously. I'll call this meeting adjourned at 10:08 a.m.